How's it going, everyone? So, yesterday I saw Rise of Skywalker, and I kind of wanted to let it sit a bit before making a review, so that's why I'm not making one right after I saw it. And letting it sit was a great idea because my opinions have changed a lot since I actually saw it. So, we're going to start off with a non spoiler review. I might make a spoiler review, but this video is just going to be a quick non spoiler one for anyone who hasn't seen it and just wants my first impressions on it. Yeah, so don't worry about spoilers. This is just going to be a completely ad lib thing where I'm just rambling basically. Let's start off with some negatives actually. So, first thing that I want to mention, there are a lot of ass pulls in this movie. Like, just stuff that was pulled out of thin air. Like, I don't really know how to explain it without going into spoilers, but I'm just going to say, like, some characters are ridiculously lucky and ridiculously overpowered, like, without an explanation. So, that's kind of a big issue for me. Like, you'll notice that when you see the movie. And also, speaking of lack of explanation, a lot of the things in this movie, well, not a lot, like, there are some glaring things that lack explanation. And again, I can't go into it without spoilers, but you'll know what I mean when you see it. Another problem I had with this movie, there was a bunch of nostalgia baiting. Like, they just showed stuff that, it's kind of cool to see, like, getting people to get nostalgic. That's cool sometimes, but, like, there's a certain point where it's too much, and it's obviously just, like, pandering to the audience. So, yeah, they kind of went above that at some points and did too much of the nostalgia stuff. In the first, like, 30, 40 minutes, I guess, the movie was really, like, poorly paced, poorly edited, poorly paced. Like, every second, it felt like every second they cut to a different location and different characters doing different things. It was just like some crazy scavenger hunt. That's basically what it was in the movie. And it cut, like, to different places so often that it was just, like, jarring at points. Like, it was really poorly paced at first. That got fixed throughout the movie, but, like, you'll notice that, like, at first in the movie. I also think that a lot of the stuff in this movie was very predictable, like, play it safe, predictable, and it was like a lot of fan service, like the pandering kind. There is some good fan service, like, you can do fan service well, but there's also some fan service that is like pandering, and this movie does have some of that. But yeah, like, some of it was just too predictable and play it safe. They didn't try anything like really crazy. Like, if you have like some sort of theory about what's happening in the movie, there's a good chance that it's right because, like, a lot of it you could just tell what's going to happen, like, right from the trailers. I feel like a lot of the issues, like, most of the negatives actually stem from the fact that it was trying to fix, like, what they did in The Last Jedi, because obviously a lot of people didn't like that. And I felt like it spent too much time trying to fix that and not trying to be, like, its own thing. That's the big issue. Like, if this movie, like, if The Last Jedi wasn't, like, as badly received as it was, I feel like this movie would be a lot better because they wouldn't have to spend so much time just completely going back and trying to save face for all the crap that they did in that movie. So I think a lot of this movie is just held back by that. But speaking of fan service, we can actually move on to the positive side, because one of the positive things is there was some good fan service. Like, not a lot, but, like, there was some good parts that they did, like, fan service well, and it was, like, actually entertaining to watch. Because, yeah, sometimes fan service can actually be entertaining as long as you do it right. There was a lot of the pandering one, but there also was a lot of the entertaining kind of fan service here that actually kind of made sense. I can go more into detail about that when I actually do a spoiler review. Oh, and as always, the score for this movie is amazing. Like, Star Wars movies always have a great soundtrack and score, so it's no real surprise that this one is good either, but that's basically a given. So yeah, the soundtrack, score, whatever, is always great. Also, sound effects, I guess, too, and that falls in that category. Same for visuals, except for a few scenes, the CGI was actually pretty good. There were, like I said, some scenes where it looked a little odd, but you might not notice it, like, at first glance. Cinematography, it was kind of, like, bland at some points, but, like, at other points it was actually pretty good. But for most of the movie, like, I'd say 70% of the shots are just kind of bland. Like, Last Jedi, I feel, did better cinematography, even though I didn't like that as much. The cinematography in that movie was great, but this movie, it was, like, serviceable. It was, like, good. It wasn't anything too interesting, but there were some scenes that looked like great. In terms of character stuff, characters like Finn and Poe, I feel like were handled much better, and then some of the other ones as well were handled a little better. But like, yeah, it was okay for the characters. It wasn't like that bad. I kind of liked how it handled some. Some of the others, like, it was kind of hit or miss. But like people like Finn and Poe, I actually liked more in this movie. So I guess that's a positive. Again, I'm probably gonna make a spoiler review because I can't really go too in depth without spoilers. But yeah, for this one, I'm just gonna say it was all right. It was an enjoyable movie, but there were just so many glaring flaws that like you can't ignore. Like it's entertaining. I was kind of satisfied, but like in terms of story, like after I let it sit, like it's like Chinese food. It left you satisfied for like the entirety of you like watching it, but then afterwards you just don't feel anything. Like, like Chinese food, you eat it, like you get satisfied for a bit, and then it's like afterwards you just like want to eat something else again. That's basically what this movie reminded me of. It was just it entertained you for the time being, but then like afterwards you start to realize like, that wasn't really as well planned out as I thought it was. But yeah, if you guys saw it, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd actually love to see everyone's opinions on it because I know there's a lot of mixed opinions on it. And if you haven't seen it already or whatever, probably avoid the comments because there might be some spoilers in there. I don't know. And I will be making a spoiler review too. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I might make some more reviews in the future. I don't know. Anyways, though, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.